Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of my tutorial video channel. In this episode, I will discuss why the short run and long run average cost graphs are U-shaped. Before that, we must consider the difference between short run and long run. Short run is such a time where some factors are fixed and some factors are variable. This means in the short run, the entrepreneur can change only the variable factors to change the or to adjust the output level. Fixed factors cannot be changed. And short run is such a time period that allows changes in variable as well as fixed factors. This means in the long run, the entrepreneur can change the variable as well as the fixed factors in order to adjust output, right? So in the long run, all the factors are variable, whereas in the short run, some factors are fixed and some factors are variable. Now I shall draw the diagrams of short run average cost curve and long run average cost curve. Then I will explain why they are U-shaped. First, short run average cost curve. This is the shape of short run average cost curve. On x-axis we measure quantity and on y-axis we measure average cost. You can see that the short run average cost curve is falling, reaching a minimum point, then increasing. That is why it is U-shaped. Now, what is the reason behind it? As I told you few seconds back, that in the short run, some factors are fixed and some factors are variable. So, total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. Therefore, average cost equals to total cost divided by Q. Q is output, is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost by Q. This is fixed cost by Q plus variable cost by Q. This is called average fixed cost and this is called average variable cost, and when we add up these two, we get average cost. So average cost is sum of average fixed cost and average variable cost. As fixed cost is fixed for a certain period of time and it does not depend upon production. So as production increases, per unit fixed cost goes down because the same amount of fixed cost is getting apportioned between more and more units. So in the short run, this will be the shape of average fixed cost. This is AFC. As output increases from say Q sub 1 to Q sub 2 to Q sub 3 to Q sub 4, the total cost increases, but average fixed cost comes down. At Q sub 1 output, this was average fixed cost. At Q sub 2, this is average fixed cost. At Q sub 3, this is average fixed cost, and at Q sub 2, this is average fixed cost. So as production increases, average fixed cost goes down. On the other hand, average variable cost is like this. This is ABC. Whereas average fixed cost continuously falls, average variable cost does not fall continuously. It falls, reaches a minimum point, then again goes up. This is the minimum point of average variable cost. And why this happens? This happens because as production increases, managerial experience increases and the factors of production are more efficiently used. And this efficiency reaches a maximum point, so average variable cost reaches its minimum, then that efficiency comes down. As a result, average variable cost goes up. That's why we get a shape like this of ABC. And when we add up these two, we get this is AFC, this is ABC, this is AFC, this is ABC, this is Q, this is AFC and ABC on y-axis, and if we add up AFC and ABC, we get AC. The minimum point of average cost curve corresponds to the point of intersection between average variable cost and average fixed cost. Right? Now, so why it is U-shaped? Why the average cost is U-shaped? As the production increases, the fixed factors are used with variable proportions of variable factors, so the balance between variable factors and fixed factors become more and more efficient. And as a result, the average cost comes down, it falls. The balance between fixed factors and variable factors become more and more efficient. Ultimately, that efficiency goes away because since fixed factors cannot be increased or decreased in the short run, so the fixed factors are more and more extensively used beyond this point. Say this is Q sub 1 units of output. Till Q sub 1, the balance between fixed factors and variable factors improves, and as a result, the short-run average cost curve comes down, falls. And when the optimum efficiency is reached, that is the optimum balance between the fixed factors and variable factors is reached, the curve starts going up, moving up. It goes up. This is the reason why the short-run average cost curve is U-shaped. Okay. Now I shall draw the diagram of long-run average cost curve. Remember, as long run is sum of a number of short runs, long-run average cost curve is an envelope of a number of short-run average cost curves. And in the long run, there is no fixed factor, all the factors are variable. Long run is a time period which is enough to allow full and free adjustment of all the factors of production. So let me erase this part so that I can draw the diagram of long run average cost curve. This is long run average cost curve, which is an enveloping a number of short run average cost curves. You see, the long run average cost curve comes down as production increases, it reaches a minimum point, then it moves up. Say Q sub 0. till Q sub 0 units of output, long run average cost curve falls, and beyond Q sub 0 output, it increases. Now, say this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. So from A to B, LAC falls because of increasing return to scale. Here the law of return to scale applies. This is under law of return to scale, which says that when all the input factors are increased, then the long run average cost curve first falls, reaches its minimum, then it goes up. From point A to B, increasing return to scale operates. This means output increases at a greater proportion than a given proportionate increase in input. That is, if inputs, remember all inputs, there is no fixed factor, there is no fixed input, all inputs. If inputs are increased by X%, then output increases by more than X%. That is, output increases by greater proportion than a given proportional increase in inputs. As a result, the average cost falls and the long run average cost curve comes down. And beyond B till point C, B to C, decreasing return to scale, that means all the factors, decreasing return to scale B to C operates. This means the output is increased more than proportionately than a given proportional increase in inputs. If all inputs are increased by 10%, then say X%, I am not taking any numerical figure. If inputs are increased by X%, then output increases by more than X%. Now, why this increase in return to factors, or increase in return to all the factors, or increase in return to scale and decrease in return to scale appear? Because of economies and diseconomies of scale. From A to B, this is economies of scale, and B to C, diseconomies of scale. Correct? Economies of scale operate because fixed factors are well utilized, and diseconomies of scale operates because of inefficient use of fixed factors or inefficiency of certain fixed inputs like management, say labor unrest, so that labor productivity falls, etc. These economies set in when output starts growing beyond a certain point, a certain level of output. Due to that, decreasing return to scale sets in. Here, if inputs are increased by X%, then output increases by more than X%. This means average cost falls. And here, if inputs, that is from B to C, if inputs are increased by X%, then output increases by less than X%. I beg your pardon. In case of decreasing return to scale, then if inputs are increased by X%, then output increases by less than X%. So here what will happen? Average cost would rise. Now in between these two, here is the minimum point. This means at the minimum point there is constant return to scale. At the minimum point there is constant return to scale. At minimum point there is constant return to scale at this point, at point B. This means if inputs are increased by X%, output increases exactly by X%. So proportional increase in output is exactly equal to the given proportional increase in input. As a result, cost neither increases nor decreases. It remains constant. The average cost remains constant. So this is the discussion about the U-shape of short-run average cost curve and long-run average cost curve. I think this is enough for this video. I believe this is well understood by you. All these diagrams and my explanation. Still, should you have any doubt in your mind, if you have any query, please don't hesitate to let me know through the comment section. I shall be glad to answer to all your relevant queries. And if you think this video is beneficial for you, please do share the video with your friends, brothers, sisters and colleagues so that they can also get benefit by watching this video. And finally, thank you very much for your precious time. Stay well and goodbye.